We've all been there. You sent the email. You said exactly what you meant. Then you got back a response that made it clear they had heard something completely different. That's not unusual. That's what we call a professional communication gap. And it happens all the time to smart and capable people. Welcome to week 17 of the Pathfinder Campus weekly blog series. I'm Barry Morgan, and together with Jessica Locke and Gord Sarkissian, we've developed a community that supports students beginning their career path and adults in the midst of a career transition. Our weekly blog series is designed to help provide helpful tips and guidance as you navigate a major life change, and we hope you'll allow us to join you on your journey. Let me pass along a personal story that still stings a little. Many years ago, I was working at a college helping graduates connect with employers in the industry. One day, our administrator forwarded an email from one of our industry partners. They were reaching out to let us know they had several job openings and encouraged us to refer graduates who might be interested. At the time, I had recently read an article about the challenges facing that industry. Businesses were struggling with labor shortages and economic pressures. To attract staff, many employers were increasing wages, improving benefits, and even offering incentives just to get applicants through the door. I thought this was great news for our graduates. And wanting to demonstrate to the administrator that I was keeping up with industry trends, I replied to the email and attached the article. I added a brief comment suggesting that our graduates would benefit from these changes and remarked that it was about time the industry started paying more reasonable wages. I had carefully crafted the message. I proofread it. I imagined my supervisor reading it and appreciating that I was doing my research and that I was thinking about how industry trends could benefit our students. Then I hit send. A few minutes later, my phone rang. My supervisor was furious. Only then did I realize what I'd done. Instead of replying only to my supervisor, I had accidentally clicked reply all. The employer who had sent the original message had received my comments as well. What I had intended as an observation about industry trends was received very differently by the employer. The organization that was trying to help our graduates now felt criticized by one of the people they were trying to support. I immediately contacted the employer and apologized, but the damage had already been done. That experience taught me a painful lesson I've never forgotten. This week, we're talking about professional communication, and I want to show you why it's one of the most critical skills you can develop right now, wherever you are in your career. So, what is professional communication? Well, here's what professional communication is not. It's not a formal language. It's not sounding corporate. And it's definitely not hiding your personality behind polished sentences. Professional communication is the ability to match your message to your audience. So the right information gets to the right person in the right way, and something useful usually happens as a result. Here's a quick example. Imagine you've just finished a project and you're updating your manager. You could say, the deliverable has been completed as per the agreed timeline. Or you could say it's done. Here's what we shipped, and here's one thing I want to flag before we close out. Basically the same information, but very different impact. The second version does the thinking for the reader. That's professional communication, and that's what gets a return on the investment for your effort and care. So, why does this matter for your career? When your communication is unclear, people fill in the gaps themselves. They assume, they hesitate, They go around you. And over time, you start to feel invisible, not because your work isn't good, but because people can't easily receive it and sometimes understand it. When your communication is clear and well targeted, something different happens. People begin to trust your judgment. They bring you into the conversations earlier. They recommend you. You become someone others know how to work with. And that's genuinely career defining. Think about the people who get promoted, who get interesting projects, who seem to be in the room more often. Almost always they communicate well. That's not a coincidence. The most common trap I see is this: people communicate to express themselves, when what they actually need to do is communicate to create a result. Ask yourself this: before the next time you hit send, do you know what you want the person to think, feel, or do when they read this message? If you can't answer that, your message probably isn't ready yet. The reframe is simple but powerful. Every piece of professional communication is a small act of design. You're not just conveying information, you're shaping an experience for the reader. Start there, and your writing gets better almost immediately. Here are 3 things you can actually start doing right away this week. First, lead with the point. In professional settings, most people bury the headline. They give the context, the background, and then finally, the thing they actually need. Flip it. State the most important thing first, then support it. Your reader will thank you. Second, match your channel to your message. A quick, direct text message and a formal email are not interchangeable. Neither are a 5-minute chat and a 20-minute meeting. Ask yourself, what does this moment actually need? And then be sure you're using the right tool to communicate it. And finally, read the room before you write the room. Before you communicate something important, spend 30 seconds thinking about who's receiving it. What do they already know? What do they care about? What would make this easier for them to act on it? That 30 seconds is worth more than an hour of editing. None of this requires perfect writing. It just requires intention. Professional communication isn't about being impressive. It's about being effective, making it easy for people to understand you, trust you, and work well with you. This week, we've got a deep dive on Tuesday that takes you through the full picture. What professional communication actually means in today's workplace, the traps to avoid, and how to develop it deliberately. On Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, we get together with the Pathfinder Commons community to share thoughts and ideas regarding this week's topic. Everyone's welcome. We meet in the community meeting room on Zoom on pathfindercampus.ca. Then on Thursday, we post a practical exercise that walks you through the auditing of one real piece of communication you've sent this week. It takes about 30 minutes, and it's genuinely eye-opening. And then on Saturday, the reflection piece asks a question that might stick with you. Who do you actually become when you communicate well? You've already got something to say, and it's important. Your ideas matter. Let's make sure people can actually hear them. Bring your questions and comments to our Zoom meeting on Wednesday. We look forward to seeing you on pathfindercampus.ca.